Welcome to the Sports Unlimited podcast. I'm your host, Drew Lally. To my left, we have Jake Peckham and Sam Economy. And to my right, we have special guest Jackson Thayer.
Filling in for Logan Tribo because Logan Tribo, unfortunately, could not be here today.
There's some pretty big shoes to fill today, so we'll see how it goes.
Indeed. All right, let's get started with the week that was. Game 7 of the World Series last night. The Nationals pulling out with a 6-2 victory. Their first World Series in franchise history. They win the series 4-3. So, let's just get some overall reactions from Game 7 and the World Series.
I did not think that they were going to come back when they were down 2-0. I thought it was over. I thought the Astros were going to win, but I am happy that the Nationals won because, quite frankly, unless you're a Houston Astros fan, nobody wanted you to win.
Absolutely not. That's why I'm repping my Washington Nationals jersey today. I agree with you there. I said last night it was 2-0 Astros, and I'm like, nope, this one is over. Astros, they have the better bullpen, I believe, and if they would have used Garrett Cole properly, I think they could have, ended it right there. But no, AJ Hinch did not. So gave the Nationals life, and here we are.
So I think they got to fire Hinch right now, today. Here's why I say this. Astros always jumped out to a hot start every single game, even at home when they did lose. They were 0-4 at home. So essentially, I think that just came down to managing, mistakes from Hinch, and I think they need to get rid of him.
Yeah, we just talk about that. The first time in professional sports that the home team has gone 0-7 in the championship series. That has never happened before. You called it, didn't you?
I did call it. My hot take for the last podcast, RIP the last podcast, was that the Astros would not win a home World Series game. And I was right, they did not win a home World Series game, so all of you should just bow down to me right now.
That was a little assertive.
What do you got, Jackson?
No, I think they pulled Greinke too early. He was on a roll throughout the first six innings, throwing one hitter. I mean, he gave up that home run, but I think they should have got him in there.
Yeah, I was about ready to call Zach. That is a big water jug.
You gotta stay
Out of
hydrated.
nowhere. Okay, I guess.
Anyway.
I was about ready to claim Zach Greinke as the MVP.
Are you done?
Hydration is key to this.
Holy cow.
There we go.
Anyway, I was about ready to claim Zach Greinke as the World Series MVP based on the fact that he would be going 2-0 in the World Series. And, like it's been said earlier, Hinch just really botched that game. There's nothing more to it.
I think for the Nationals, though, they had a total team effort to win this World Series. There were a lot of players that stepped up in key moments, and that's what did it. That's how they beat the Astros.
Oh, no doubt. You look at the guys on that roster and look at the names. Like, before this postseason run, none of those names really popped out to you except for the pitching staff, of course.
I think it's almost like the 2013 Red Sox in a way, where they were good, but the players there weren't above average players in their career. They were just average players that peaked at the right time, at the right team, and they all got along very well. Sure, they had like David Ortiz and stuff, but Juan Soto is like the David Ortiz of that.
Man's only 21, too.
Yep, he's going to be filthy.
All right, Steven Strasburg, the MVP of the World Series this year. He went 2-0. He is the first pitcher in league history to go 5-0 in the postseason. So, Strasburg wins the MVP. Agree or disagree with the selection?
MVP just should have been the whole Nationals team. I mean, there really wasn't a
Fair.
clear...
I mean, that's what the World Series trophy's for.
Yeah, I mean, there really wasn't a clear standout for the MVP race of that. Like, who got it last year? Was it Steve Pearce for the Red Sox? I mean, the guy went off in the World Series. I mean, you couldn't.
Yeah,
you just could not give it to him.
What happened to Steve Pearce this year, by the way?
Injured.
I know. That's what I was just saying. Anyway.
Whatever. He stepped up at the right moments. But Strasburg he was good. He was 2-0 in the World Series. What was his ERA?
2.51.
2.51. I mean, not outstanding, but not bad. So, and every game in the World Series was a blowout. So,
Jake, agree, disagree, Strasburg MVP?
I completely agree with this one. In Strasburg starts, he gave up a couple runs at the beginning of the game. I think both times he got 2 runs in like the first inning or the first couple innings, and after that he held them 5-6 strong innings. So he gave his team a chance to stay in the game, and they did for the most part. So I think I agree with that one.
Jackson?
I agree with it because he didn't get down. He didn't get down. It's World Series game. Anything can happen. He let up a couple runs. But stuck with it. I just like to point out that he was the first pitcher to win MVP since 2003, and the last pitcher was Josh Beckett to do it.
Yeah, I'd say initially when they announced the MVP as Strasburg, I was like, all right, I probably would have gone with Rendon, but after thinking about it more today, I feel like Strasburg was the right choice. He won the most important games other than Game 7, obviously. But Game 2 put his team up 2-0, going back home. Obviously, they didn't fare well at home. Game 6, must-win game, goes out there and dominates. Gives his team a chance to win, stay in the fight. That's the Nationals' motto.
Scherzer did a great job last night.
No doubt. All right. Want to get to a UMBC athletics tweet. They tweeted out last night, at Bryce Harper, enroll here and then leave so we can win some titles.
For those of you that don't know what UMBC is, it is the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. You might recognize them as their big upset win against number 1 Virginia, as they were the 16 seed in the NCAA March Madness tournament. So yeah, that's them.
So my question for you guys is, how are you feeling today if you're Bryce Harper?
$330 million richer.
That's true.
It's hard to argue with the money, but I think it's human nature. You gotta feel a little bit, slighted.
I honestly think he's the type of person that could just care less. I think that's just the way it is.
Do you guys think the Phillies will ever win a title with Harper there?
Nope.
No.
Not until he leaves.
Nope, my other hot take last week, Bryce Harper will not win a World Series in his career. So he has to leave the Phillies for them to win.
Well, I initially would have said no as well, but my man Joe Girardi is now the manager of the Phillies. I miss you, Joe. I wish you were still on the Yankee staff, but yeah. I think the Phillies will win one in 2026.
All right,
Which is also the year they host the All-Star game.
Mark it now.
Mark it now. Yep.
2026.
I'll write that down. 2026 World Series champions, Philadelphia Phillies. Write that down. All right. Let's get to our pigskin pick'em. We got 4 intriguing games that we're gonna pick this week. First one up is the Bears on the road with a record of 3-4 at the Eagles with a record of 4-4. Jake, you want to start us off?
Yeah, all right. I think this is a couple of just middle of the road teams who are just going to come in there, battle it out. I think they're both going to, not really give a crap. I think really it's going to be a high scoring game, something in the 50s, 60s maybe. I'm looking for something
50s,
entertaining.
60s?
Something entertaining. These are 2 very unentertaining teams that have been pretty bad all season. I'm looking for something good.
I mean, first of all, the Eagles aren't that bad.
No.
Even though they're 4-4, they beat up on the Bills 31-13 last week. I mean,
How good are the Bills, though?
the Bills
Not
are
good.
good. The Bills are good for their conference besides Patriots.
Good for their conference, yeah.
Yeah,
right.
you got the Jets and the Dolphins.
That's it. The
Dolphins.
The Bills will still make the playoffs though. Like
Now, the
They're
AFC
still
is
going to.
weak.
they are.
Okay,
Well, yeah. That's why the Eagles are going to win. The Eagles are going to beat the Bears.
Okay. I mean, the Bears are in the NFC, too.
Yeah, the Eagles are going to win.
Jackson?
I think this game's going to be a very good defensive matchup because the Bears have a powerhouse of a defense. But I ultimately think that the Bears are going to come on top. I like the Bears in this one.
So, it's interesting. You say defensive matchup, and we have Jake over here saying that we're going to put up 50, 60 points here.
If the over-under could be 70, I'd still take the over.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles. The Bears have shown me nothing. They've shown me nothing that makes me want to pick them in this game. I like the Eagles at home. I still I still think the Eagles are going to win their division.
Wow.
That's a hot
I
take.
know it's tough. I know
Hot
it's
take.
tough for you as a Cowboys fan to hear that, but you know, I still like the Eagles. All right,
Take.
Vikings on the road with a record of 6-2 at the Chiefs with a record of 5-3. Jackson, you want to start us off on this one?
You know, Vikings been looking pretty good. Vikings been looking really good this year. They're getting back Adam Thielen. They lost him last week with a hamstring injury, but they're getting him back this week. Chiefs just don't have Patrick Mahomes this week. And who's their backup quarterback who's in it now?
Irrelevant.
Yeah, very irrelevant.
Irrelevant now.
You're behind Patrick Mahomes, already one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. But anyway, who's the Vikings running back? Because he's unstoppable this year. I bet he's got the most rushing yards in the league right now. So the Chiefs got to figure out something to stop him. So I like the Vikings against this matchup.
Sam?
I also like the Vikings because Mahomes is out. There's no other reason the Vikings are going to win.
What you got?
Pretty much the
Boy?
same thing. Pretty much the same thing. Yeah, you know, without Mahomes, team's basically nothing. They're hopeless. No offense. I say they might score one touchdown. So I'm taking the Vikings on this one.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs just because I know Mahomes is out. But I'm sorry.
You're really turning into Logan here.
I'm
I think
sorry.
He took the Chiefs
I
last
just
week. I'm pretty sure.
who Logan?
Logan. Because
They were playing. I wasn't gonna pick against my Packers last week. But yeah, no, I'm going Chiefs. The Vikings, they have a tendency to. They've had a weak schedule. They have a tendency to play really well against these bad teams, but when they come around and play some better competition, and I know the Chiefs aren't where they should be right now, but I don't know, the game's at Arrowhead. I just like Kansas City in this one. So yeah, no, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. All right, so we got the Patriots coming in with an 8-0 record at the Ravens with a record of 5-2. I think this one should be pretty interesting. Jake?
All right, never ever bet against the Patriots. I'll say it once and I'll say it for the rest of this series. Patriots are just way too good. They might be on the road, but their defense is just too hot right now, and I think they're going to take this W.
Never, ever, ever bet against the Patriots unless they're playing the Ravens. The Patriots are going to suffer their first loss of the season against the 5-2 Ravens in Baltimore.
Hot take.
No reason why.
No reason. All right. Yeah,
It's just
all
going
right.
to happen.
Some people just like an upset.
All right, so what I think about this game is Ravens are coming off a bye. They had a bye last week. So they've had extra time to prepare for this game. And it's a big game, Sunday Night Football. Love the Patriots, but got a pretty big hot take. Lamar Jackson will throw for 500 yards and 3 touchdowns against Patriots defense. Just what I got to say about that.
Drew, what do you have to say about that, Drew?
Well, I've learned that picking against the Patriots usually does not bode well for my picks. And I've had a history of picking against the Patriots and it's come back to bite me in the butt. However, who have the Patriots played? Have they played a legitimate NFL team yet? I don't think they have.
Not until they get to the
Steelers?
Cowboys.
The Steelers are the Steelers.
That was
Are
back
the Steelers?
That was back when they had Ben Roethlisberger.
Are the Steelers exactly lighting up the world right now?
No, they don't have their quarterback.
No, Big Ben
Yeah,
wasn't.
they lost
The
Antonio
Steelers
Brown.
are going to finish 8-8 anyway, even if they had Big Ben. Just saying. Yeah, no, this is the first time they played a real team, and don't tell me the Bills are a real team, okay?
They lost to the Eagles by a lot. 31-13.
I'm
Not even
taking
close.
I'm taking the Ravens in this one. That's just that.
You're rooting against your own team right now.
Well,
by the way.
I just want to say.
You're rooting
I
against-
just
you're
wanted
rooting
a hot
against your
take.
favorite
I
team.
just wanted a hot take.
See, I don't have much to cheer for because I'm a Cowboys fan. They let me down
I
every
still-
year.
Speaking of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Cowboys,
Listen, Lamar Jackson could still throw over 500 yards and 3 touchdowns. Tom Brady could throw for 600 yards and 7 touchdowns. and they still win. It doesn't matter. I just think Lamar. He's on my fantasy team. He's my fantasy quarterback. So I had to do
Oh,
The Patriots-
Now, okay,
Patriots-
now I get
Oh.
it. Picking the Ravens because he's on the
Patriots
fantasy.
He's
defense
on
will
fantasy
not
team.
let up more than 200 throwing yards, passing yards the entire game.
No more than 2 throwing touchdowns either.
But I'm still taking the Ravens. Just
All
to
right.
make that clear.
So speaking of your Cowboys, they play on Monday Night Football. They come in on the road with a record of 4-3. They will take on the 2-6 Giants. Jake, start us off here. Cowboys and Giants, Monday Night Football.
You know, Giants, I think they're back to full strength, but I mean, I really don't believe in them at all. I think the Cowboys, it's about time for them to, figure something out and get a win here. So if they want any chance of making it to the playoffs, they really need to start stepping it up here. So I think I'm going to take the Cowboys.
I'm also taking the Cowboys.
I wonder why.
What do you mean? What do you mean you
I'm
wonder
just,
why?
I'm just kidding.
What do you
I'm
mean
just
you
kidding.
wonder why? The Giants are 2-6. They're playing with what's their Daniel Jones, their quarterback.
Daniel Jones?
number 1 round draft pick here.
Okay,
You can't
but-
be hating on him.
But this is a big game for Daniel Jones. If he can prove to the Giants organization that he can play on primetime television against a pretty big matchup with their rivals, the Cowboys, I think that he might have some future there in New York. But I do think the Cowboys are going to win because it is a huge game for them. They need to win.
What you got?
Kind of tough one, you know. It's Monday Night Football. Anything happens in football, you know. I'm taking the Giants with the Cowboys.
Oh,
I feel
there
like-
you go.
I feel like Saquon Barkley is going to run all over the Cowboys defense. Again, I have Saquon as my running back in fantasy, so I hope he's going to win.
I'm taking the Giants as well. I'm just putting it out there. The Cowboys.
Split the table.
The Cowboy. You can go back in your corner over there.
Players, the stats are telling me, man.
I'm just going out on a limb here. Cowboys are going to lose to both New York teams this year. It's prime time, and I don't like the Cowboys in prime time.
You don't like the Cowboys in general.
I especially don't like them in prime time. But no, seriously, this is Monday Night Football, and we all know what happens in Monday Night Football. Nobody knows how to play offense. It's a sloppy game. I'm thinking we have maybe like a 16-9 win for the Giants, something like that.
Scrappy.
Really ugly game.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I think it's going to be like 56-45.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah,
about
well,
70
oh,
points here.
No, I'm just kidding. It's not going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna have a 60-point game like the Bears and Eagles, according to Jake.
That's a hot take.
All right, so let's get into our November predictions. Okay, the TD Garden is rocking right now because the Celtics, early in the season, they are currently in 4th place in the East. The Bruins are in 1st place in the Eastern Conference. So, my question to you three, both one or neither team will be in the top 5 of their respective conference come December 1st.
The Bruins will. The Celtics is a big question mark.
Care to elaborate on that, or?
The Bruins are absolutely dirty. They're at the top of the power rankings by ESPN in the NHL right now. The Celtics, I don't know much about basketball, so I'm just saying that the Celtics is a big question mark because they're circling right around that 4, 5, 6, 7 spot. So.
All right. Well, actually, looking at the Celtics schedule, they're going to be playing a lot of trash teams this month. So I'm thinking they're just going to start going off. Kemba Walker, electric player, great handles. He's going to be running that offense, and I think the Celtics are going to win a lot this month. And to the Bruins, I think they're probably one of the best teams in hockey right now, at least as long as that top line staying hot, and the rest of the team can just support them throughout the game. So I think both teams are going to be in the top 5 come December.
Well, I know the Bruins are doing good. Not much of a basketball follower. So I say Celtics and the Bruins are in come December 1st.
Big month.
Both? Alright. I'm going to go with just one team, and that team is going to be the Boston Celtics. I really like the Bruins right now. That you look at me like that. No, I really like the Bruins right now. However, it's the National Hockey League. Things happen. Injuries happen. I don't know.
When December 1st comes around, and the Bruins are sitting in first or second place.
Go ahead. You can give it. You can give it to me if the Bruins are sitting up there. Yeah. But basically, I just have a hunch that the Bruins be hovering around 6th place at the time. All right. So let's go to our next November prediction. We talked about the Patriots already. They are 8-0, and the Bengals are 0-8. So what's the bigger number at December 1st? Patriots losses or Bengals wins?
Bigger numbers, Patriots wins.
That's not one of the. It's Bengals wins or Patriots losses.
Oh.
Patriots losses or Bengals wins?
Patriots losses or Bengals wins. The same. They'll be the same.
The same?
Yeah. They'll
We
be
get.
the
You want to
same.
care to throw out a number?
By the end of November, I'll go 1.
One for each.
1 for each.
I mean, you've got the Patriots losing
To the
to
Ravens.
the Ravens.
And I think
At
that they'll
least.
win out the rest of the month. So.
All right.
And I think the Bengals can get lucky every now and then. I mean, they're not going to have an 0-16 season like the Browns did a few years ago.
Jackson?
Well, I already did say I was gonna go against Patriots this week with Ravens coming there and beating them. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna kind of go with Sam on that one too. That they'll win out, but Ravens might be able to catch you trying to pass them.
Jake?
All right, yeah, I'm gonna say they're gonna have the same number. And it's gonna be 0. The Bengals suck. The Bengals are awful, and the Patriots are going undefeated straight to the Super Bowl. Win number 7.
Yep.
Count it right now.
Fine. If you believe that, I'm gonna go.
You might as well just be Tom Brady's like.
Yeah, you might as well just go stand on the sideline with Bill Belichick. Go, oh rah rah, Patriots are so good, even though they haven't played
They're just gonna keep
anybody.
exposing young, inexperienced teams, running time off the clock at the end of the game. And Bill Belichick's going to coach the team, and Tom Brady's going to play his heart out to their 7th ring.
Patriots will win the Super Bowl this year.
Undefeated.
Absolutely.
Undefeated. Okay.
There's no other team.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
49ers, nothing.
When the Patriots lose 3 games this season, no, I'm just kidding. They're not losing 3 games this season.
I do think it's kind of funny how the 49ers quarterback was just under Tom Brady. Garoppolo, how he's under Tom
Well,
Brady.
Belichick wants
Yeah,
him.
he's-
Belichick apparently wants him back.
I wouldn't
But
surprise
I
me.
don't know. Those are just rumors I heard. Anyway,
How long is Belichick going to be around for?
When Brady
I don't know.
retires.
I think when Brady retires, him and Belichick are going to ride off in the sunset.
I think that'd be the move.
Probably after this year, after they win the Super Bowl.
Anyway, I'm gonna go with bigger number is going to be Patriots losses.
You just said they aren't losing 3 games this year.
Yeah.
And it's November.
Yeah, they're losing 2 this month.
There's still
The
2
Ravens
more
and
The
months.
Ravens
Uh-huh.
and the Chiefs.
There's
Wow.
no way. they
And the
lose
Bengals
to
are only
Chiefs.
winning one. Bengals
No
are
way
winning
they
1
lose
or
to the
0.
Chiefs.
What
So the
if
Bengals will have to beat the Ravens week 10, Raiders week 11, or Steelers week 12.
They can beat the Raiders.
Dude, it's at the end of this month. The Chiefs is 12-8. That's December 8th.
Oh,
Big
no.
game. You
Oh.
don't count this for that game.
Oh, never mind then.
So the Patriots do play the Bengals.
Okay,
so
no,
we're
fine,
fine.
fine. I'll still go with 2 because they play the Eagles after the fact. I'm still saying the Patriots are losing 2 games.
You should just leave.
I'm sorry, I'm having too much fun hating on the Patriots. All right, last November prediction. Maine hockey, they have a record of 4-2 right now. They play 10 games in November. Question is, how many wins will they have this month?
Well, they have 2 at home versus BU, 2 at UMass Lowell, 2 at UNH at home, 2 versus UNH at home, 2 at Northeastern, and 2 at St. Lawrence. So they go on the road there for a little bit. Split versus BU. Oh, let's see. They'll go 5-4-1.
Are you serious right now? Are you kidding me? We're gonna start a war right now? Just look at my paper, look at what I have written down. Oh yeah, they'll go 5-4-1. Where'd you pull that number out of? Oh yeah, just pull it out of thin air. So I guess I've already told you what I think Maine's gonna win 5 games. They're going 5-4-1.
Are they really?
Yeah, really, because it was written down on my paper.
What's the tie do?
UNH. One of the games.
Win in a tie?
Win in a tie. I know you two really don't know much about Maine hockey, but you care to throw a number out there?
10-0.
10-0. Oh, that's
I love it.
If Maine goes 10-0 in like November, I'm gonna go renew my season tickets like the first day of December.
Jake,
All right. Well, I think we're gonna go with 7-1 and 2.
Jeez, I hope so.
You guys are like really
Optimistic.
really optimistic. I hope so. All right. So the other team in the World Series, obviously the Houston Astros, they took the loss. Real quickly, we're going to talk reaction to Garrett Cole not getting used in that situation.
Sealed his package to free agency. He's gone.
He gone. He wore the Scott Boras hat in the post-game interview, and yeah, he basically said, "I'm not a team employee, so sorry, Houston. I really don't feel bad for you because I'm a Yankees fan."
Sorry, Houston. I'm a Red Sox fan. I don't feel bad.
Yeah. So, real quick, where's Garrett Cole gonna sign?
Ooh.
Red Sox.
No, the Red Sox don't have the money.
They have the highest payroll in the MLB this year.
Well, they suck, so didn't know.
Toronto? Question mark.
Toronto.
Wow.
Toronto.
Toronto.
Get those Canadians all
Really?
excited.
Toronto.
Get Peyton all riled up.
Jake, you got a landing spot for Garrett Cole?
I'm just taking a look around the league right now. I'm thinking, he could obviously go somewhere like the Yankees. They could probably clear up some cap space somehow. They always manage to do that. If they want someone, they'll do whatever they want to go and get him.
Edwin's not coming back, right?
And Carnos, they just waived his contract today. So Ryan Carnacion is gone.
Yeah.
If the Yankees
Least
get
clutch
Cole.
hitter I've ever seen.
Okay.
Yeah. You wanna? What were you saying?
I just think Garrett Cole really wants to win. He's a winner out there. I think he's just going to try to pick another strong team to win, try and make another playoff push next year. Hopefully with a team that will actually pitch him in prime time because he is that good. He deserves to be out there on the mound, and they kind of squibbed him the other night. So
How dirty would
Screwed
it
it
be? How dirty would it be if he ended up on the Mets with that Mets pitching staff?
that's yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you. No, thank you. As a Yankees fan here. Yeah, so I think one of the popular spots I've been hearing is the Angels. They have Joe Madden coming in as the manager next year. However, I'm going to say optimistic. Garrett Cole is going to go to the New York Yankees.
Of course he is.
Of course he is, because the Yankees have the money, and we're actually going to use our pitchers wisely this year, because Larry Rothschild, he gone. Pitching coach. All right, we're going to wrap up this podcast with our tool of the week. And our tool of the week this past week was Baker Mayfield. Because let's he looks so sad in this picture, by the way. If you guys can't see this, the Browns have been terrible. They're 2-5. Like, why are they so bad? I mean, I picked them to go 8-8, but
Okay, the reasoning to why we picked him as Tool of the Week was because of when Odell Beckham Jr. handed Tom Brady his goat skin cleats. Baker was over there, put the pouty face on and was like, wow, I wish I was as good as Tom Brady so I could get special cleats.
The look on Baker's face is priceless. If you have not seen that, go look it up. Trust me. All right, we're going to close it out with some final thoughts. Anybody have something to say before we close this out?
Go Maine!
Turn it over, baby.
Cowboys? No.
Giants.
No. Giants?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Bears and Eagles, 70 points.
All right, we thank you for tuning in to our podcast.
If you guys made it this long.